Swapping out analog notebooks into digital apps is a huge step for me as a minimalist. I used to have tons of notebooks, one for work, one for journaling, one for drawing, one for random note-taking, and I realized half of this can be or should be documented digitally. So before I carry on, let me clarify that this video is sponsored by Notion, and you guys know me. I won't take up any sponsorship or recommend anything that I don't believe in. In fact, Notion is something I use almost every day. So when they reached out to me, I was really excited because I've been using them for months and I've been talking about this to my friends and you guys. But if you still don't know much about Notion, it's an app for your daily task, if I put it simply. It can be a journal, a calendar, a to-do list, and there are many other functions which I personally use. In my own words, whatever you can write on paper or key on a table, all of these can be done on Notion, but with the flexibility of customizing it to your own preference, lifestyle, and work. When I first found out about Notion, I was really stoked about it because I realized it can be an app that I can unify all the tools into one, a multi-purpose tool, which is very important for me as a minimalist to eliminate redundancy and standardize all my apps. What's important is this is free for you to sign up. And of course, there are paid versions as well, but I'm using the free version. But you can already receive so much out of it. So let me get started and bring you along on my Notion setup. I know not all of you guys are interested in video making or want to use it as a work-related note-taking app. So let me share with you guys how I use it for my personal notes and tracking. Since I've eliminated the use of my physical notebook, whatever that came across my mind has to be transferred someplace. And I need a place for that. And that would be this personal page. So let me show you. As the name suggests, it can be really personal. For example, my toilet ceiling is leaking recently, so this is just a random notes and bookmarks I took from the internet after researching. I'm deleting this because I'm done settling this thing. Next will be the things I've learned. I think Notion can be my best friend when I was in school. That can save me a lot of trouble of having a notebook and a notebook. The extra weight is redundant. Regardless, even after graduated for years, I still try my best to learn as I go, and whether is it from books, online course, all of those worth remembering lessons, skills, I'll throw it in Notion. And here, I have some paper documents. You know, sometimes I just can't judge if this paper document is something just in case or I really need it in the future. I want to declutter it, but yet I'm afraid I might need it in the future. That's when I'll take a picture of this and declutter the physical copy. But the problem is, I don't want to clutter my phone and hard disk with pictures and pictures of warranty cards or paper documents. Honestly, there's just a minimalist problem. You don't want a physical clutter, and you also don't want a digital clutter. That's why I'll upload this on Notion. Whenever I need to find any paper documents, I know it's on Notion. All I can do is just search it on Notion. And poof, I got what I want. And I don't have to go through thousands of files just to find what I need. And once you don't need it anymore, you can just delete them. It's easier for me to remove it from Notion as compared to going back to my hard disk or my phone to delete them. So moving down, I have two trackers. Let's start with my workout tracker. I really don't want to waste my mental energy remembering those small menial stuff. And I also don't want to clutter my calendar with random reminders. So I throw everything into Notion. I use it whenever I need to work out, and what's important here is the date. Because that shows me when's the last time I've worked out on that area, the type of exercise at the site, and the next two bars are also important columns. I tend to always forget the rep and set I need to complete, how heavy I need to carry, so they are here to remind me. And the last column is for my reflection, whether I'm struggling on the last set or I can increase the weight the next time I'm doing it. All of these details used to be written on my messy notebook, and now having it on a digital format makes it way organized and easier to edit. This helps me a lot when I'm gymming at home. I'll just key in everything on my computer. But I'm pretty sure you can use this when you are out at the gym, because you can just check it and type it in your phone. Other than the workout tracker, I also have a plant watering schedule. I got this plant tracker from the community templates. So what I have here are all the plants in my room, with the name at the first bar, the location at the side, which I don't think I need this since I often shift them around. So I'm gonna remove this. And the visual, which is the image, so I can see how much they have grown. And next is the most important part because that's when I last watered my plants. That's something I really don't want to depend my brain on, and neither do I want to over or underwater them. So this plant tracker helps me a lot with my plant care. This used to be recorded in my physical calendar, which I haven't been using it and removed it recently. So other than this, I still have a list for movies that I want to watch. Nothing much recently. And also a book list for myself. It's almost like my to-do list, but there's only 2 columns. Books I want to read and books I have read. And now to my minimalist viewer, these templates are for you. Let's see. The first is Wishlist Strategy. I've created this wishlist strategy to help us to curb impulsive purchase. How it works is whenever we have a sudden impulse of buying new stuff, might be because of the sales period or you watch too much product review. I know how this temptation feels, and this wishlist strategy helps me a lot. So the best way for us to avoid impulsive buy is to wait for it and let it fade. And meanwhile, we can note it down on Notion. So the first column, we have the date where you have the impulse. Then there's a countdown date, which shows the amount of time you have waited, and identify whether is it a want or a need, the purpose of having it, the price, and meanwhile, you just have to wait for it to fade. So whether the waiting time is 30 hours or 30 days, even if you still decided to make the purchase, at least you know it's not done by impulse. You have taken the time to reflect and research, is that the best thing for you to do? Next will be the no spend challenge. If you know you're gonna be tempted by the upcoming Black Friday sales or the gift giving season sales, I don't know what they call it, Christmas sales, you might want to try this no spend challenge out. So what I have created here has a start date and an end date for your no spend challenge. It can be as easy as no spend day, weeks, or even a month. And I've created a countdown column where you can keep yourself in check. But what's important here is still the things you are allowed to buy and not allowed to buy. I mean, we are still going to live our life normally, and there are still necessities we need. So make sure you set a criteria, a rule for yourself before you carry on with this no spend challenge. So for now, let me start with my work area. I've tried a lot of ways to record my to-do list, handwritten or on a separate app. Since now I can unify it into one personal and work app, I find it way efficient without having different platforms to work on. First thing first, you can see my first page is my to-do list. I use it every day. It's a simple 3-column table where the first column is my priorities. I try to keep my priorities less than 3 a day. That's how I apply minimalism in my work productivity. Having less priority so I can achieve more focus. And the next bar is a standard to-do reminder. It's the column for the not so important work. So I use it when I want to push back my impulse of working on other tasks when I'm trying to focus on my priorities. So for example, when I'm working on my script and suddenly I remember I need to pay my bills. So instead of breaking my workflow by this sudden new task that pop up abruptly, I'll divert this impulse by typing it down on this to-do reminder. If I can manage to complete my priorities, then I'll go on to my to-do reminder bar. If not, I'll push it to tomorrow. And the last column is the done column. I'll drag anything that is complete in it. That's the column where I recognize my wins and appreciate what I've done today. And now we are done with the first page, and let us get into the work page. A big part of my physical notebook consists mainly my video ideas. I mean, if I only have that few videos, I guess it's fine, but as I started to grow and continue to make more videos, this is definitely not enough. And now all my ideas are in Notion, so I have no use for that. And I have a specific page for my video ideas. So what I have over here are the ongoing videos that I'm currently working on and the completed ones, which I dump everything in this 2020 page. And at the bottom, that's my ideas for future videos. And whatever you guys suggest will be recorded inside this page as well. And every time when I'm brainstorming for ideas, I'll be using a video template. And this template, I have to say, is an inspiration from Abdaal. He's a productivity YouTuber and also the reason why I've adopted Notion in my workflow. I've used that template and did some alteration. And that's something awesome about Notion because you can customize any template to fit your own preference. So what I have here at the top is the status of my current ongoing video. Next will be title, which I will have a list of them, and later on then I'll filter it down. Same thing goes for thumbnail. I'll have a quick description on how it will look. Then we have the main body, which is the content, the details of my video. And I also can attach bookmarks or any articles that I've read that can be helpful for my script. One of my favorite features of Notion is creating a bookmark because I haven't been using my Google Chrome bookmarks, and I can just sort it out respectively in the page itself. At the bottom is another quick checklist for me to double check my work once I've exported my videos. So this template is basically a check for my workflow for my video. So whenever I need this template, I'll just copy paste and work on a new page. So moving back to the work page, I have this YouTube calendar. It shows me the schedule of my next video. And the sponsorship column, which is very important because sometimes I do get my dates wrongly. So other than this table view, you can actually change it to a board, a timeline, a calendar, or a list. So it's up to your own preference. So that's my work page. It's very simple, and currently I'm not working as a team. All of these are all for my own accountability. But if you have a team, you can actually share your work page with your team members. And there's actually a limit of 5 people, unless you upgrade to the paid version. So for me, my girlfriend and I always wanted to work on something together, hopefully a business in the future. So for now, we have a page where we share together and we will throw in all the ideas inside. And it makes it easier for us to view and discuss when we are not at the same place. Additionally, other than my templates I've mentioned, there are a lot of different templates available at the community templates area. It's for anyone to use, whether is it for your work, business, or personal. You can always find something that can fit your lifestyle. Having a journal on Notion is easy as well, but it's just my personal preference. I'll still prefer to have a handwritten one, since I like to shut down on my computer and then write my thoughts. But if you don't mind to have a digital journal, you can start from Notion as well. So that's how I utilize Notion as my note-taking app, and I have to say, it's one of my favorite minimalist tools because it literally helps me to reduce my paper clutter, my physical notebooks. So if you are interested in exploring the capability of Notion, you can try it out yourself with the link in the description below. It's free. And all of the above templates will be made available for you guys, and I'll put it in the description as well. I might not have mentioned all of the functions on Notion, but if you want to dive deeper, you can check out other YouTubers like Ali Abdaal, Thomas Frank. They can show you how you can utilize it as a student, a filmmaker, or you just want to be a productive guru. I'll put a link in the description below as well. So I hope this video can make you realize the perks of having a digital note and help you remove redundant paper clutter. That's all I have for you guys. If you are new here, I make videos on minimalism and self-development. So if this interests you, you might want to consider subscribing to this channel because I don't know when's the next time my videos can reach you on YouTube. And to my existing viewers, always grateful for your love and support. Thanks for liking and watching this video, and I'll see you guys again next week. Bye bye.